Hello Exiles, and this is a very quick video to kind of go through all of the new quality of life changes that are coming in the new 3.24 league that is going to be named Necropolis. The video you can see in the background is the teaser video. If you like this content and you want more, throw us a like, throw us a subscribe guys, and I will continue doing it. So let's begin. So the first one that I feel is the most biggest is the fact that now in trades you can now hold shift and control on any currency and it will move that entire currency into the trading window. Now personally, I think that this change is absolutely massive, just because the amount of trades that I do, and obviously the amount of trades that anybody will do within a trade league, that is ridiculously OP in terms of how fast you can move currencies across. So if you're wanting to do bulk trading, which I do quite a bit of, then this is going to be a massive quality of life, and I cannot wait for them to implement this in the new league, just because I am going to use it to the most that I can. It would be ideal if you could do that in your inventory as well, i.e. moving stuff from your inventory into your stash, but there has been no confirmation as to whether that is the case or not, but I wish that that is going to be the case. If it is, then that is going to be a big GG for GGG. So that's the first one, which is going to be currency moving. Second one that they've introduced is the fact that you can now hold shift and left click instead of clicking multiple times to fuse an item. You can now just hold shift and left click and it will just keep using whatever item is in your hand, whether that be a jeweler's orb or a fusing orb of fusing. So that is going to be amazing, or even for quality items, which is going to be amazing for anyone who's trying to get a 6-link or a 6-socket item. It will save your wrists. The next one is Breach. So within Breach now, when you now trigger the hands, sometimes you would see these clasped hands. They now will automatically open once you come within a certain proximity. That will save you having to click on it whilst also trying to fight monsters, which I think is again a very good quality of life for anyone that is doing the breach mechanic, or if anyone is trying to utilize it or try and get as many breach splinters as possible. I think that is going to be very helpful for anyone that's doing that, and it saves a lot of time as well instead of clicking on the actual hands. The next change that they've done is in the Haughty crafting station. When you are crafting an item, the item actual stats will stay on screen rather you having to keep clicking on it or hovering over it, which is a nice quality of life. Now the most biggest one, which I think is the changes to Betrayal. Now first thing they've announced is that all of the 4 masters you can see on screen here, so Einhar, Alva, Nico and Jun, can now all be in the map together. Second thing that they've done is the Veiled Chaos Orb has been changed. So the Aisling reward that you would get of removing a modifier has now been added to the Veiled Chaos Orb. But now the Veiled Chaos Orb will only drop from Katarina. So that means that if you want to get one and you want to get a Veiled Orb, then you are going to have to kill Katarina. There's going to be no messing around of moving Aisling into a relevant department. It's literally just kill Katarina. Now, some of the biggest changes that have also happened are the changes to flasks. So the Hillock quality flask reward that you would get from Betrayal has been removed, and you can now corrupt and use a Varl orb on your flasks, which will then give you a potential to give you 10% higher quality or 10% lower. So that means that you can then get 30% on all of your flasks. So ideally, the best GG Mageblood flasks would all be 30%, with obviously the increased quality and no changes to any of the other modifiers. So let's hope that that is the case and we can do that. Now, another thing that they have not really mentioned, but it is visible in this video, is that they have changed how Ruby Flask, Topaz Flask and Sapphire Flasks now work. So instead of the previous flasks providing you with 20% less damage taken of that element, i.e. cold, fire or lightning, they now provide you with a 40% base of that resistance and a 5 to the maximum of that resistance, which is pretty strong, and it means that your resistances can be 80% if you was to run triple flasks. Now, In terms of running those with Mage Blood, that means that potentially that is ridiculously OP, and I don't know whether in terms of a 90% increased effect, how that would affect in terms of your maximum. 90% against 5, does that mean that you would then get what? Another 9%? You get 9% increased? That is pretty OP. So even more strength is gone now towards the Mage Blood. The last thing that they have then done is that they have then put the talisman and the change an amulet into a talisman into the beast crafting instead. So that is something that they've just added in, so you can now trade that item if you want to do that. And that is basically it, guys. In terms of quality of life, the improvements for 3.24 are shaping up to be quite good. Now, if you don't know who I am, and obviously you've stumbled across this video, go check out my channel. As you can see in the background here, there was a ton of videos that I have done. I'm currently in the middle of doing the Act videos, so we're obviously trying to get through Act 1 and Acts, every single one faster. We're going to be doing Act 3 at some point today, but as you can see, I've done a few build guides to this league. I've done one for the fastest mapper in the entire game, which was a Frostblink build, and I've done a video for nearly every single league mechanic that's in the game. I stopped when I got to Betrayal because I did anticipate that there were going to be some changes for Betrayal this league, so I didn't want to do a video and then it become instantly out of date. And obviously I was wise to wait because of the changes, as you've just seen. But as you can see, there is obviously a lot of more videos on here, so go check them out. Throw my page a like and subscribe. Obviously I did a video here on the new bulk selling tool, if you're not aware of, which is called Wealthy Exile, which you can go check out as well. Other than that, guys, until the next video, I will see you soon. Stay sane.